All right, so the question we asked is, the NFL Network put the Lions on a graphic as in the hunt as it pertains to the NFC playoffs. Do you think of the Lions as in the hunt for a playoff spot right now? Your answers on Twitter are yes, they're in the hunt. Beat the Giants and they're in the hunt. Beat the Giants in Buffalo and you would consider them in the hunt, or they won't ever be in the hunt. 42.7% have said they are in the hunt if they beat the Giants. That's the number one answer. Number two answer is they won't ever be in the hunt. Number three answer is beat the Giants in Buffalo in their hunt, and 5% say they're in the hunt right now. Don writes in, hilarious, this team is not in the hunt after a 2-game win streak. To which I say, Don, take it up with the NFL Network.
Well, there's that, and you can also choose one of the other options.
Yeah, feel free.
Because what you're looking at, there are 3 wild card teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with 3 wild card teams, are 2 of them coming from the NFC East? Right now, you've got a 7-2 team that's in second place and a 6-3 team that's in third place there. Is there anything close to that throughout the rest of the league? And the answer is, or the rest of the conference, not really. San Francisco is next up at 5-4.
And that's the team they trail by 2 games.
Yeah. So it is kind of up in the air. Now, at 3-6, it's way too early.
Sure.
But if they win the game on Sunday, my eyebrow will raise. And if they win both games, then they're absolutely 100%.
This game would suck people back in if they win this game.
And I wonder if they were to split them, and if they split it the other way, if they split where Buffalo is the win and the Giants are the loss, does that give Lions fans hope to think that, they're on the graphic legitimately?
So they'd be 4-7?
It's still 4-7, but it's instead of beating the Giants, you're beating the Bills. Which one would mean more to you?
Well, beating the Giants would give the Lions a tiebreaker over the Giants. And do I think it's possible that the Giants could collapse? Actually, I do.
Your Giants?
I know. I mean, let's be honest. I'm a little surprised.
I think they need to beat the Giants for people to really kind of get on board. Because I think if they lose to the Giants and beat the Bills, although the Bills are a better team, I think people think that's just the inconsistency of the Lions. They're not real. I think if they beat the Giants first, people, just because it's the first game, they're going to buy in more.
Let me just feed this to you a little bit. So let's say that Sunday comes and go against the Giants. They lose to the Giants and, Frank Ragnow was unable to play. Or in addition to that, DJ Chark doesn't play and Josh Reynolds doesn't play. But the Thursday game, those guys are back. Does that change at all? Because they get healthier, they beat the team. You can reconcile the fact that they lost the game because they weren't 100%. They're nowhere near 100%, but that those guys are out. And then they go out and beat the Bills. Now they've got 10 days off before the next game, and that next game they may add some other players.
No, I hear you saying. It's sound reasoning. Makes sense. I think that you got to think, can this team make a little bit of a run? Because that's what they need, right?
Because that schedule starts to lend itself after the Bills game to make you think maybe just MJM, Doug. Maybe just maybe. Because you've got the Jags. When they play the Vikings, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm counting on Jamison Williams playing against the Vikings.
But what are you accounting him to do? 100 and a touchdown in his first game?
Yep. No, what I'm expecting him to do is to take some pressure off of maybe the Lions' running game, maybe take some pressure off of Amon or St. Brown or where else, because you have to account for this guy and his speed. But the Vikings game is going to be tough. They play at the Jets after that. Now are the Jets playing above their grade right now? Would you agree with that?
I think they probably are.
I think they are too. Then they're at the Panthers. Carolina's it's an S show right now.
Yeah, but the Lions
home against the Bears.
The Lions have shown this year they can lose to anybody. They can lose to a team that's an S show. But there are games that are more and less likely that we are not in a position to overlook anyone.
No, not at all. Not at all. But another point is that, I mean, they did lose to the Eagles by 3. They lost to the Vikings, again, in heartbreaking fashion by 3. They lost to the Seahawks by 3. I mean, the only game they got blown out, they weren't I guess they got beat up pretty good by the Cowboys too, but they got blown out by the Patriots. They've been in the other games.
But do you think the Raiders are a good team?
Do I think the Raiders are a good team? I think the Raiders should be a lot better than what the record shows.
Yeah.
They're 0-6 in one-score games. So I know what you're saying, like they're not getting blown out, but it doesn't matter because those bad teams lose games like that. So let's just compare them to the other 3-win teams in the NFC, because there's a lot of 3-win teams in the NFC, right? The Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, the Chicago Bears, the LA Rams. Those teams, along with the Lions, only have 3 wins. Are the Lions better than those teams? Because I guess they're all considered in the hunt, right?
Well, they beat the Bears, so I'll say yes. They're better than the Bears. I really think very little of Carolina and New Orleans. And the Rams are a shell of what they were, and now they're even worse because Cooper Kupp is gone for a significant amount of time. So, yeah, I can make the case that the Lions are the best team of that bunch.
So you think they're in the hunt, for sure?
No, not yet. No, I don't think they're in the hunt yet. I think they got to prove it to me. And I think I'd feel better about it if they beat the Bills than if they beat the Giants, I guess is my point. And that's why I want to know what the people think, too. Do you feel better about it if they split the next 2 games? Does it matter to you which game they win out of those 2, which you would feel better about?
I really want them to win Sunday to create the illusion that the Thursday game is a huge one. Because I don't know that if they win both games,
well, then
that's a game changer, right?
Yeah.
4 in a row, 5-6.
2 quality opponents that you just would have beaten.
People will be talking about the Lions.
Another road win.
Now, understanding, huge ask, okay? Huge ask. I don't think I'd pick them to win either game as it stands right now.